Yeah, guys.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah. So in the previous sessions, we have covered some basics of this Scala programming. So in this session, till now we have discussed the only object-oriented concepts of this programming, isn't it? Scala programming. So still there is no. There are many hell lot of concepts to discuss about that come under the object-oriented programming of Scala. But meanwhile, I will introduce in this session I will introduce you to this functional programming of Scala, not Spark. I'm talking about the functional programming of Scala. Okay, so because in our coming up sessions in other use cases, we have to use the combination of both object oriented and functional programming features. Okay, so that would be the efficient way of coding the thing, coding the applications. Okay, so in this session I will try to introduce to that functional programming, how we need to write a function, functional programming style. So we have seen how to we write a method, right? We used to write a methods inside the classes, and we know how to write the methods, how to create the methods. And the methods are of four types, again, four categories: with input, with output, with return type. We have different four categories of the methods. So that is what we have discussed till now. That all comes under what object-oriented programming of the Scala programming. So in this session, I will try to introduce you to the functional program, how it will be. Okay, and from next session onwards, we will use the combination of both functional as well as object oriented. So with this motive, I'm trying to introduce you to this functional programming in this session. Okay, so still there are many concepts, guys. Exception handling, traits, case classes, constructors. There are many concepts are then in this Scala programming. So we shall discuss them, in parallel, in combination with this what you call as functional programming also. Okay, right. So I will show you something now here, how that can be implemented with object-oriented programming approach, and how that can be implemented, how we can obtain something by using functional programming feature. Okay, let me show you that. So I create an array here, some a1. Well, a1 equal to array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let us say, guys. So here I have created an array object with 7 elements in that, 7 integers. Okay. Now I would like to now I want the sum of all these numbers of array. What shall I do? I want the sum of the numbers of all the numbers of this array object. So what do you suggest me? How shall I code it? How do you suggest it? Yeah, guys, how to perform addition of this array? What shall I do? Okay, remember blindly, if we want to implement something, if we want to get something, what we have to do is we need to write a logic, isn't it? So how do we write a logic? That logic must be implemented as a method or as a function, remember. Okay, so the logic can be implemented either as a method or as a function. Okay, you got my point here. So if you want, whatever the guys, whatever it may be, remember, want implementation of anything, that has to be implemented either as a method or as a function. So if it is object oriented programming approach, we call it as a method. If it is functional programming approach, we call it as a function. That's it. So here I want like to find the sum of the elements of the array. What I have to do? I need to write a method, isn't it? I need to write a method. So in that method, I use different programming constructs like loops, conditional statements, all this, but everything must be written inside a method, right? Okay, remember that point. Okay, now how do we write it? How do we find the what you call as sum of the elements of the array? I use some what you call as some variable called as sum equal to 0. This already we have done many times. Yeah.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, Scala, and I use loop for some I, starting with 0, 2. What is the size, guys? Sorry, 0, 2. What has to be the size here? All the number of elements. All numbers. How many times this has to be iterated? Yeah, guys. Yeah, size minus 1. a1 dot size minus 1 by 1. Okay, by 1 and loop. Okay, and here I write sum equal to sum plus a1 of I. So finally, this is the loop. We have written the some logic here. So the sum of all the elements of this array are going to be in this variable sum. Okay, if we increase this is 28. Okay, 1 2 plus 3 up to 7, it gives the sum as 28. Okay now guys, just remember this. Now the same thing I implement in a different way. Let me show you that. Very simple and very efficient. Let me show you that. A dot sum, sorry, uh, not as sorry, a1 dot sum. Directly I've got it, we in the see the first approach, guys. This is the first approach where we have created one variable sum, and there we have implemented loop, and there we are finding the sum of all the numbers of the array. So that is what one style of finding the sum of elements of the array. Okay, and see this one, just only a1 dot sum. That's it, nothing, guys. Dot sum. That's it. We got the result as 28. So what do you think? Are they same or are they different? So what is this SUM here, and what is this SUM here? Yeah, Hina, can you tell me what is the difference between these two? Which is object-oriented programming style and which is functional programming style? Between between this, which is object-oriented style, which is functional programming style? Okay. So this, guys, you know what? Yeah, just let me show you this.
It seems
Yeah,
last part is functional programming, right?
yeah. A1 equal to array of 1 2 3 4 5 7. Now simply I can write a1 dot sum. Okay, what is this sum here? What is this sum? SUM sum. This is a function, guys. This is a function. Okay, so we are using a function, and what is a1 here? A1 is referring to array object, and we are applying the function with that reference. Okay, you got my point here. Just let me show you this case. Very simple. I will create a class here. So it's very sorry, class sum a. Sorry, val id equal to some, if you var here, var some id equal to, will take some 0, and var name equal to some empty string and some closes. So this is a class I have defined. Now how do I create an object for this class? New a, right? I use new a, val n1, let me say n1 equal to new a. Now n1 dot id equal to some 20, n1 dot name equal to, let me say spark. Now what is n1 here, guys? What is n1 here? What is n1? Yeah,
It's an object.
no, n1 is not object. I'm telling you, n1 is not object. Okay,
It's
yeah,
value holding unit.
no, it is a not value. It is a reference. Do not call it as a variable or value. It is a reference. N1 is a reference which is referring to an object of the class A, which is an object of class. Okay, so if this n1 is a reference, and id, what is this id here? Id is some variable, right? No, it is the id is some variable. No, this is a variable, guys. We can call it as where id equals, so this is a variable equal to 20, and n1 dot name. So we are accessing the contents, we are accessing the content of the class by using this operator dot here, n1 dot name. So what is n1 here? N1 is a reference, and what is this? What is n1? N1 is a reference to an object. Okay, I'm stressing the point. Remember here, n1 is a reference to some object. What? Sorry, object. Object of what class, guys? Here, object of which class? A here, isn't it? So n1 is a reference to object of class A. Got my point here? So how we are able to access the content of that class? How we are able to access the content of that class is dot and name equal to spark. So do you agree with this? So to which class this name belongs to, guys? To which class this name belongs to? A, right? This name and ID belongs to A, isn't it? So we're accessing the content of that class by using the operator called a dot. That dot is called as period operator, guys. Period, period operator. Okay. Now, so apply the same logic here. Whatever you understood from here to here. Okay. What is that you understood here? Apply the same thing here. Now, if we call n1 as a reference to some object, or if you agree with that, so do you think a1 is also a reference to some object here? If n1 is a reference to some object of class A, so what has to be a1? What has to be a1? Even a1 is a reference to some object. What object, guys? What object? Which object? Array object. An object of an object of which class? Array class. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, so a1 is a reference to an object of array class, and here n1 is a reference to object of class A. Got my point here? Okay, so if name belongs to, so what is this name and id is nothing but these are the two variables, or we can also mention the method name also there. So dot and the content of the class. So if it is id and name belong to the class, we can use like this n1 dot id and n1 dot name. Similarly, if a1 dot sum, so what is the meaning of this now? What has to be this sum, guys? What has to be this sum? What has to be it? What has to be it? Function. Okay, function of which class? Of which class? Here name is, yeah, exactly. Okay, go, you got my point now here. Okay, sum is a function which belongs to class array. Okay, and we are using that function on the object of that array. See this way, guys. Okay, if understand this one, try to apply here. So in this portion, whatever that I highlighted, whatever that I have highlighted here, what is the class name here? A. The class name is A. Got? And what is the we will not have object name here. No, remember, we cannot access the object. We cannot give a name to the object. We can have only reference to the object. We cannot give a name to the object. Remember, okay? So here A is the class name, and n1 is the reference to the object. You got my point here? And id and name belong to that class. They are the variables. Similarly, here I say that in this array is the class, and a1 is a reference to the object of the array class. A1 is referring to an object of the array class, and sum, the sum, is a function. It is not a variable, it is a function of the class array. So this array is a predefined class. There's a predefined class. We are not creating that class. Okay, it's a predefined class. We are using it directly. But what about this A here? A is the user defined class. We have created that class, isn't it? We have created that class. So I told you in the very beginning sessions of this class, every construct, any construct in the programming language, the concept, some will be predefined and some we go with user defined. Predefined and user defined. So already available content or constructs are constantly called as array, predefined, and every programmer gives a flexibility of creating our own stuff that is called as user defined stuff. So in this, A is the user defined class and array is a predefined class. Okay, so sum is the function, or sum belongs to the class array. Okay, so what is this now? Is see this now, guys. Just 1 second. So a1 dot sum. So whatever that I am achieving with a loop, I'm able to get it directly, or with a simple dot sum. Likewise, we have many ready-made functions in Scala. I'm telling that we have many ready-made functions in Scala. We can use them directly on this one. Okay. Now, as I say this now, a1. Now I would like to add, or from this I would like to select only even numbers, guys. From this array I want to get only the even numbers. What we have to do? What is the logic you suggest to me to implement? I would like to get only the even numbers. What shall we do? Yeah, Zakir, how shall we implement that? I want to get only integers, so not even numbers, not integers, even numbers. So what is the logic we shall implement here?
It's A1 percentage of 2 we can give, right?
Yeah,
If A1 percentage of equals zero, then it will give it.
we can't write directly a1 percentile to 1 percentile to, sorry, equal equal to 0.
If condition we can use, right?
Hmm. Println. Can you write like this actually? We can't write like this, Zakir, okay? A1 is a reference. Already I told you, A1 is a reference. Okay? It is not a variable, okay? A1 is acting as a reference, okay? No? So we cannot access perform directly like this. We can do like this. See here now. So some variable I to 0 to A1 dot size minus 1 by 1. Here we have to write the condition here. If A of I, sorry, A of I percentile 2 equal to 0, then println even. Okay, I close this. Sorry, a not a1. Sorry, it is a1. Println even and close this. Even. So how many even numbers are there? 4, 5. What do you call as 2, 4, 5. Let me print directly the values instead of doing this. Let me print directly the values. Equal to 1 to n. If a percentile I percentile a of equal to 0, println some space plus what is the value plus a1 of I to this. Sorry, I used double plus here. Println this is guys 2, 4, 6. Okay, so we have used a loop. So to that logic, what is the logic? Whether every element is even or odd, so that we are running this condition here, percentile to equal to 0. So in order to apply this logic to every element of the array, we are using a loop, isn't it? We are using a for loop. Okay. Now we can do this in another way. Let me show you that. A1 dot filter of x implies x percentile to equal to 0. What do you get, guys? Is it 246? Is it the same? Is it the same result? 246. So whatever we have achieved there with the loop for I equal to 0, a1 size minus 1, if find println, the same thing we were able to achieve with this. Simply, filter of x implies x percentile to equal to 0. So which is easier to implement, guys, here? The whether the using the loop kind of approach or this approach, the second approach, which is easier? The filter, right? This filter. Okay. So what is filter here? What is filter and what is x implies x percentile to equal to 0? Okay, this is, we can say, if someone asks you, this is a logic we have implemented by using a for loop. That we can say about it. Now what is that? What has to be? Just now I told you that a1 is in reference to which object? Array object. A1 is a reference to an object of the class array. Okay, just now we have discussed about it. Now what has to be filtered, guys? What has to be filtered? It must be a function, right? It must be a function or it must be method of the class array. Okay, class array. And what is this x implies x percentile to equal to 0? What is this? If you call filter as a function, then what is this? What is this stuff actually? X implies x percentile to equal to 0. You know, we are implementing a logic. I'm sure we are implementing a logic. So this is a function, guys. This is a function. X implies x percentile to equal to 0. This is a function. I'm telling you. Filter is a function, and x implies x percentile to is also a function. Don't get confused. Both are functions. Filter, x implies x percentile to equal to 0. Is it pre-built function or we have created that function? No, it's not function body. I'm telling you, this is not a function body. Okay, so x implies x percentile to equal to 0. Is it? I'm calling this as a function, guys. I'm calling this as a function. Okay, I'm calling filter also as a function. So between this filter and x implies x percentile to equal to 0, which is predefined and which is user defined? Yes, exactly. Filter is predefined and x implies x percentile to equal to 0 is a user defined function. This is the function, guys. This is the function according to functional programming style of Scala. Okay, x implies x percentile to equal to 0 is a function. According to the functional programming style of Scala, this is how we write a function. That's it, very simple, guys. This is how we write a function. That's it. According to functional programming style of Scala. You got my point here? Okay, so that's why I'm trying to introduce you. Okay, this is how we write a function. Very simple, guys. Very simple. Okay, very simple. The function name is very simple. Okay, we can create any function very easily with the functional programming style of Scala. Because of functional programming style only, Scala has gained this much popularity. Remember that part. Clear, guys? Okay, let me just show you now again the function x implies x percentile to equal to 0. And similarly, now a1 is there. Now, so for every element of this array object 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, I would like to add 10 to each element. 10, there is exactly 10. So 10 plus 1, the result has to be array of 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. That has to be the result of the array. Okay, so what I have to do now here? What do you suggest? So we can implement that in two ways again. Let me show you that. For I is starting with 0 to a1 dot size minus 1 by 1, a1 of I equal to a1 of I plus 10. Yeah, in this a1, what do we get here? 11 12 13 14 15 16 9 17. Is it fine, guys? Okay, 11 12 13 14 15 16 and 17. Is it okay or not? Very simple, right? Okay, now what I do is I'll create one more array, some array of the 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now I will show you. For a2, I'm applying the same logic, whatever the logic that we have implemented in above step by using loop. I write like this: map of x implies x plus 10, guys. That's it, very simple. X implies x plus 10. We got 13 14 15 16 17 and 18. Now again, this is a function again. This is a function. This is x implies x plus 10. This is one function. This is also one function. So are these two functions, are they same or different? Is the logic same or different? The logic is different, right? There we are applying some condition there. X percentile to equal to 0, double equal to 0, where that is a condition. And x plus 10, it is simply an expression. X plus 10 is an expression, right? So this is expression, that is a condition. Okay, and what about map here, guys? What is this map? Is map a function here? Yeah, is map a function here? Yes, again yes. Okay, filter is a function, map is a function, and in filter x implies x percentile to equal to 0, that is again one more function. X implies x plus 10, this is one more function again. Yes, exactly, map is predefined and x implies x plus 10 is user defined. Are you able to see this now? So how we have to implement some logic? I want to implement some logic by using functional programming style. How do you do it? This is how I do it. This is how I do it. That's it, very simple. You got it? Okay. Now I will try to show you something now. Just now I told you that, yeah. Uh, mm, I could not see this chart. It's already done. Are we equating these predefined and user defined? No, not exactly equating. I will try. I'm coming to that only. Okay, just wait. So now I will show you how to create a function in what you call as functional programming. Now I will try to show you how to create a
Sir,
function. Yeah,
sir, I have one doubt, sir.
yeah, please. Yeah.
Sir, for this case, we are using x equals x plus 10.
Mhm.
If I have multiple condition, after this values, if the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if the value is more than 30,
Mm.
then filter. Can we do it as a single line, or do we need to do multiple? I'm interested. Like, can I perform multiple operations in a single function actually?
Yes, we can do. We can do. That's what I'm trying to do now. I will go. I will go. I'm getting into that. Just I introduce that this
Okay,
will be write a functional program. Now I'm getting into the details of it. Okay. This will
okay, sir.
fine. Let me show you guys. I'll just simple one while r equal to range of 1 comma 100. 1 comma 100. It this function actually range creates 1 to 99. Total 99 elements we have here. Okay. See this now. R dot map of x implies x plus 10. What we get, guys? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 up to 109. Irrespective of the number of elements. Irrespective of the number of elements. Is the condition is remaining same or not? The function is same. So irrespective of the number of elements, the function remains same. Okay. This is one point. Now I will elaborate all these points now. See this now. I'm writing some this like this. X implies x plus 20. Yeah, sorry. What is this, guys? X colon implies x plus 20. What is this? What is this, guy? X colon int implies x plus 20. Just now we had what is it?
This function.
Function. It's simple, right? It is a function. It's very simple. Okay. Now I'm writing one more. Um X colon int comma y colon int implies x plus y by x minus y. What is this again? This is again one more function. So the first function, how many variables it is taking, how many values it is taking as input? Only one, x. And how many outputs giving? Only one. It is taking only one input and is giving some output. And coming to the second function, the function is taking two inputs. The when is two values as inputs, x and y, two integer values as inputs, and is performing some logic. X plus y implies by x minus y. So in functional programming, we separate the input and output by using this implies symbol. Arrow mark symbol, the equal to and the arrow greater than symbol is the right. This is called as implication symbol. Or gives, we call it as, some people call it as gives or derives or implies. I use the term implies. So it's up to you. You can use any terminology for it. It is not a big deal. So x colon int implies x. So x colon int, it is the input here. For the function, this is input here. Okay. And what is this now? This is the input to the function again. This input to the function. Now, moreover, yeah, I'm doing something like this. See here, the same val some f2 equal to x colon int comma y colon string, not y colon, sorry, yeah, y colon string implies uh, x dot to string plus y. Yeah. Now here, guys, first function, second function, third function. What is the name of the first function here? This function, I'm asking the name of this function. What is this? And what is the name of this function? And what is the name?
Anonymous function.
Anonymous. Okay. So this x, the first and second functions are called as, we are not assigning any name to them. So they are called as what? Anonymous functions. Anonymous. ANONYMYUS. Anonymous functions. Got it now? The functions which do not have any name, they are called as what? Anonymous functions. Okay. Now I'm showing you this now. Now here guys, in this lambda, yeah, they are also called lambda functions. So x implies expressed in what kind of function this is? It is anonymous. It is also anonymous function, isn't it? So why function? This function doesn't have any name in this case. Okay. Now I write something. Say this now. Df f2 or f3 equal to the same thing. I write line thing. So what in this case, guys? In this statement, what is f2 here? What is f2 here? In this case, I am asking what is f2? Is it the name of the function? Reference. Okay. Whenever we use var, the keyword var or val, whenever you use a keyword val, that is nothing but we are trying to create a reference. Remember that we are trying to create a reference, not the name or anything. We are trying to create the reference. Okay. Now I write something like this, guys. F3 df. Now what is the what is the f3, guys, here now? F3 is the name of, we are giving a name for that function that is called as f3. We are giving, if, yeah, there is a function. Okay, this is the function. This stuff is called as a function. This is called as a function. But what is f3 here? F3 is the name of the function. So it is a name. So why we are calling it as a name? Because we are using the keyword def. So if you are using, if any string is preceded by the keyword def, there is nothing but the string will be called as a name. Okay, and if any string is preceded by the keyword val or var, that will be called as a reference. Remember these 2 points, guys. Okay, so the first 3 functions are anonymous functions, and the f3 function is it called a named function. Now what do we call this these functions? We are calling it as what? We are calling them as anonymous functions. And this function, what do we call it as? This function we call it as a named function. Why? Because this function has a name. Got my point here? Okay, this is how do we write a function. Okay, now I will whether we can have only one statement as output. After imply symbol we're writing only one statement, right? Is it always only one statement? No, guys, it's not always one statement. Okay, we can write multiple statements in that. Okay, I will try to show you now. See this def f.
So what is the uh, difference between this function and the function what you write, like def some name, then return value something?
That's
Right?
what
What's the difference between?
uh,
Both are same, right?
this is not that's what I'm telling you. Scala uses functional programming, object programming, as a combination. It doesn't is that it doesn't it is not pure object oriented, pure functional. It is a combination of both. It's a combination of both. Okay. If you go C++ language or the Java previous, now the latest version, the earlier versions, they are purely object oriented programming languages. Okay. Lisp, I told you in the beginning sessions, Lisp. It is a pure functional programming language. It's pure functional. There's no concept of object class in that language. But Scala is a hybrid language. It has object oriented as well as functional. Do not separate this. Okay, do not separate. Even in Scala, do not separate these two. Okay, Scala uses them as a combination of this. Okay, now this is going to create a reference, guys. Here I'm telling you, this creates a reference, Zakir, and there's no reference for this. Now how shall we access this x colon this function? I want to use this function. How shall I access this? How shall I access that? Okay, there's no name given to that. So I can use res. Sorry, no, we can do res21. Here it can be used as res21. but this rs21 is intermediate only, we can't use it directly. Okay, we can't make use of it whenever we want. Okay, the logic is same whether we are naming a function or not naming a function. The logic is same, that is going to be applied. But here the Scala given a flexibility that if you want, you can name a function, or you need not to name a function. The functions which do not have a name, we call them as anonymous, and the functions which have a name called as what do you call it as? Named functions. Is it called it? This is called as named functions. What is the purpose of having a name? What's the purpose of having a name? To call someone, right? To call that function, we should have a name. That is the reason we should have a name. If we do not have a name, we cannot call it. We have to write the entire logic again there. If you want to make it, if you want to use it, if you have to write the entire, if we have a name, we can use there is simply the name. If we do not have a name, we have to write the entire logic again there. We have to write, that is the advantage of having a name. You got my point, Zakir, here? If we do not have a name, we have to write the entire logic there. Just see this, what is I'm trying to do here. Just see this. Here we have a1, right? A1 dot some map of x implies x plus 10. This is what we have written, right? Okay. Now see this, I'm writing df some f5 equal to x colon int implies x plus 10. Now a1 dot map of f5. Did I get the same result? Why how I could use fi here? Because fi is the name of the function, so I can use that function name directly in this. If I don't have a name, what I should use? I have to write the function directly. I have to write the entire function again. You got my point here? Are you able to understand this one? I have to write the entire function. So we can avoid why do we name a function is we can use it wherever we want. It can be reused. It can be reused without writing the entire code. We can use it directly the name of the function. So the logic will automatically get executed. I think with this you got the answer for your question, Zakir. I think. Is it okay? Or any still have any questions here?
Yes, sir. Sir, can we have multiple operations in this case, like
Yeah,
x
yeah,
plus x plus
yeah,
10?
yeah. I'm coming to that. Okay, I'll show you now. See this. What I do is see this now. Df sum f6 equal to what I do is yeah, I've been doing this. See this. X colon int comma y colon int implies um, val p equal to x plus y, val q equal to x minus y, and val r equal to x into y, and val s equal to x by y. Okay, and finally I'm returning p plus q plus r plus s. Got it? I can write multiple we can write any number of statements there, not just one statement. Okay, just x implies 10, x plus 10. There's not always only one statement. We can write hell number of statements. We can write any finite number of statements in that. Got it? But finally we should return something. Finally we have to return something. That's what the meaning of it. Okay, clear? This is Zakir now. You can see that how many statements we have in this now. P, Q, R, 1, 2, 3, 4, totally 5. Sorry, 4 statements and 1 expression. P plus Q plus R plus 7. Sorry, R, P, Q plus Q plus R plus yes. Clear? Now what else is here? F6 of 2 comma 3. What's the meaning of this? So for the f6 function we are passing 2 and 3. So 2 plus 3, 2 minus 3, 2 into 3, 2 by 3, all this will be added. 2 plus 3 will be 5. 5 plus 2 minus 3, it is minus 1. So 5 plus minus 1, it will be minus 1. 5 minus 1, 4, plus 2 into 3, 6. So 4 into 6, that is equal to, 4 plus 6, that will be equal to 10, and 10 plus 2 by 3, that is 0. So the answer has to be 10. Let us see. Yes, it is 10. f6 of 2 comma 3. So this is how we pass the values to that function. This is how we pass the values to the function with the help of f6 of 2 comma 3. We can have any number of statements inside this function. Already we have used this this type of programming, RDD programming itself, while creating data frame out of RDD. We have used this kind of approach when we are trying to solve that what you call as movies data and ratings data. In the last session, I think yesterday we have seen it. No, they have implemented like this many statements in a single what you call as function. Is Zakir okay? Yeah, guys, remaining guys, is it okay for you? What is that we are writing here? Yes, exactly. Okay. And now questions. Any questions from Raviteja, Anurag?
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah, please go on.
Now, after having the value P, Q, R, S, sir,
Mm-hmm.
and giving, can I use this value and can I use this symbols, rocket symbol again? I can do any other computation. There is
PQRS.
a single function
PQRS again.
PQRS, then divided by 10 something. Can I do an operation for that?
You can do anything. You can. That's fine. You can continue. You can continue with that. I will write.
My thing is, sir, like this. We have this thing, arrow symbol. We have, right?
Yeah,
Rocket symbol, something.
That's what I'm.
Can I use Can I use
No.
many times, multiple times?
No. That can't be used. That's not telling you. This is used as a separator between the input and output to be done. This is used as separator. Input. What has to be done on this input? That specifies that. Okay. So we can have multiple. That multiple imply symbols we can't have. We can have only one.
Can I have
Yeah.
one input and multiple outputs, sir? It's not possible, right?
Multiple outputs. No. A function can return only one output, not multiple outputs. It can return only one. We can, we can't say, input and multiple inputs or we can't say multiple inputs also. Now, X and Y, what do we call this? Is input or inputs?
Inputs, sir. These are the input. We can't have multiple inputs. Which I didn't understand. But,
even though we have 2 values or 3 values or 4 elements or hundreds of elements, we call it as simply one input. That's it. This input. Okay. And whether we get no, who is that give the multiple outputs? Here we do not have multiple outputs. Can you tell me what is the multiple output here? What is the multiple output? X plus y, x minus y. These are not multiple outputs. The only output of this function is p plus q plus r plus s. So the p plus q plus r plus these are nothing. X plus y, x minus, those are intermediate values. Okay, they're not intermediate results. There is not the final result. There is the intermediate results. So, and we are performing some operation on all those intermediate results. We are getting a final result. So, final result will be always 1. There can be any number of intermediate results, guys. Okay, and final result must be only 1. So that is what we are getting: p plus q plus r plus what you call as ESC here. Okay, fine. Now see this. Not only this. Yeah. Please.
Can we give the type, sir? Return type can we use, sir, in this case?
Yeah.
F6
That's not
no.
We do not use any keyword return here. What?
No, sir,
yeah.
We'll give that commas or this colon symbol. Then we'll give you in double water return type. Can we give here this?
That's what I will show you now. Just wait a second now. D of some F7. Y colon int equal to while p equal to x plus y, while q equal to x minus y, while r equal to x into y, while s equal to x by y. Finally, p plus q plus r plus s. Close this. Yeah. What is the difference between F6 function and F7 function? Are they same or are they different? Which
Both
one?
are same, sir, but in
Yeah.
F6, we based on the last statement, it will give the type inference. Using type inference, it will give the return type, what type
Yes.
it is.
Yes. Yes. So I
But for
call,
F7, the map,
yeah, I call F7 as a method. I call F7 as a method and F6 as a function. Do you agree with this? F6 as a function and F7 as a method. Okay. This is what we have to understand. Okay. This is what generally this approach we use in object-oriented programming. Okay. This kind of approach, this kind of method implementation we use in object-oriented programming. In pure object-oriented
sir,
programming.
can you give me difference? Can you give me difference between these two functions? Sir? How we are saying it's a function? How we are saying the method? I don't have idea, sir.
That's what I'm telling Zaki. This is very simple. If we have this symbol, implies symbol, okay, simply call it as a function. That's it. If you have that implies symbol, so prior to before the preceding to that, we should have some set of values, which will one or more number of values, so that will become the input. Okay, and after that we should have some calculation, and it should give some. It has to implement some logic. That is called as the output. So if you have this symbol, just understand that it is a function. Okay, if you have the symbol called as a function, okay now, and if you have this kind of implementation, we do not have any the implies symbol, call it as a method, simply called as a method and function. That's what I'm telling you here. That's what I'm telling. These are two approaches, right? That's what I'm telling you guys. Scala supports object-oriented programming style and functional programming style. It's up to us. It's up to us whether to go with functional programming style, object-oriented programming style. Both give the same result. Okay, both give same result. Okay, but which one is more expressive? Or which one is easier to do? Which one is easier to implement? Functional programming or object-oriented programming? Which one do you feel good here? No, not good actually. Easier to implement. Functional programming or object-oriented programming? Which one?
Functional program.
Yeah, functional. That's what I'm telling you. Both are there. Which one to use? It's up to us. It's up to us. Okay. Yeah, functionality is same. That's what I'm telling you. Functionality will be same. Everything will be same. We can implement something. That's why I told you that we can implement the same logic by using that function and method. So which one you use? That's up to you. That's up to you. So it has both features. We can use any one. That's what I told you in the beginning of the session, that there are two approaches, guys. We can use any one approach. Both the styles are supported in Scala. So that's up to us to go with whatever that we want. Clear, guys? Is it okay? Both called hybrid. Yes, this is the reason. It has the features of both functional as well as object oriented. That is the reason it's called as hybrid. No, it is not original. It has the features of both hybrid. It has taken the seed of object oriented programming, and it has taken the seed of what do you call as functional programming. So it is a fruit that is grown with the seed of both object oriented and functional programming. So that is generally called as a hybrid programming language. Yeah, so wherever you want we can use it, wherever you can that we can use it. Okay, so in the RDD programming, what is the style of programming they are used for, implemented for RDD? That is functional or is object oriented? We have been using logics, right? Map of x implies something on RDDs already, dot map, flat map, and filter and all this. So what is we have used functional programming. Okay, you got the functional programming. You remember these points, guys. Okay, so RDD programming supports what? Functional programming. It is based on functional programming of Scala. Okay, then the concept will be very interesting, guys. Compared to object-oriented programming, functional programming very easy. Once we understand it's it's a style, we feel very comfortable with this functional programming. Okay, now I will let me come to this. So map is a function right here. Map is a function. I'm telling you, map is fi is a function here. Do you agree with this first? Fi is a function here. Do you agree with this or not? Yes. So map is also a function. So a function which takes one more function as input. So what is the input to this map here? What is the input to this map? Fi, right? Fi is the input. What is that Fi? What is that? It's again a function. It's again a function, isn't it? So a function, I'm telling you, a function which takes a function, another function as input. A function which takes another function as input. That is called as, you know what? Higher order function. Make a note of this point, guys. Okay. A function which takes or which returns a function as output. Sorry, a function as input, which reads a function as input, which throws a function as output. That kind of function is called as what? Higher order function. So what do you say about map here? Fi, what is Fi? It is a simply named function. It's simply named function. Fi is a named function. Why? Because we are using the keyword def. Okay, both the functional, a function and a method. The Fi is a function here. Okay, and f6 is a function, and f7 is what I'm calling f7. F7 is a method. So both functions or methods are created by the keyword def only. So this might be the one of the confusions you may have here. So def keyword can be used for the creation of a function or for the creation of a method, both. Got it? And what is map here? Map is also a function, but what kind of function it is? It is a higher order function. Why you are calling a higher order function? A function which takes as a function as input or which gives a function as output. That those kind of functions are called as what? Higher order functions. Okay, do you agree with it? Okay, fine, guys. Now phone orange phone ikkada, orange phone. Yeah, is it fine, guys? Any questions in this? Yeah, guys, any questions? Zakir, Raviteja, Sushant, Hina. Are you able to hear me, guys? Someone has pinged me that the session has hanged up. Yes, I will show you something, guys. See here. Yes. Hmm. So a function here, def, some m1 equal to x colon, or can we have more than one function in map? Yes, we can have. No, function takes only one function. Function takes only one function as input. Map takes, sorry, not function, sorry, map takes only one function as input. We have seen, reduce by key, fold by key, aggregate by key, and combine by key. Do you remember them? Do you remember those functions? Fold by key, reduce by key, they will take only one function as input. Okay, and aggregate by key will take two functions as input, and a combined by key will take how many functions as input? Three functions as input. So that was defined. Why? Because even map, filter, all these are predefined functions. We did not design. So we have they take only one function as argument. Okay, not more than one. Okay. Now I do one thing here. See this. X comma y, sorry, x colon int comma, to be pass method or function to a higher order function. It's a function, not method, function. Higher order function is a function which takes a function, I told you, not a method which takes a function as input or which returns a function as output. Okay. Yes. Y colon int equal to implies, I use like this. What I do here, I just simply write express y, nothing else. Next, what I do is, see here, guys. Now df m2 m2 equal to m1 colon int comma in implies int comma some x or a colon int implies mm, mm, m1 there's output, right? mm, what I should write here, mm, 1 second guys. M1, I should write something like this. mm, mm, 1 second. These are the methods. mm, 1 second guys. X colon int y colon int implies x plus y, then m2 equal to mm, I should pass a function as input. So I can pass m1 as input so that m1 can perform addition of two integers. Okay, so x plus y and plus 10, let us say. mm, mm, yeah, m1 of 2 comma 3 plus 20. Is it same? Is it fine? M2 equal to, we should have this separator. Yes, let me write like this. M1 of int comma int implies int, and actually I can use M1, I think. 1 second. M1 comma some a colon int. What is that? Semicolon expected, but comma font. 1 second. M1 of its type is, yes, sorry, I have to use one of brace here. Maybe this could be the reason. M1 comma int. Right, let me try this. Missing parameter type. Yep. M1 of int comma int implies int. Yeah, yes, sorry. A colon int. Something wrong, or either create a single parameter accepting the tuple. No, this is something wrong, guys. I will explain it tomorrow. I'm trying to explain something, so I could not do it properly. Not a problem, guys. Just remember that I will try to show you how to pass both functions, higher order how to create higher order functions that I'm trying to show. So I got into some other issue. It's not a big deal. We got the point. I think this thing is okay. So you should have the basic difference between a method and a function, guys. That's very simple. A method and a function. So a method cannot be created without a name. Can we create a method without a name? If I say something like def x colon int comma y colon int implies equal to, this won't accept. So we cannot create a method without a name, but we can create a function without a name. Thus I can write directly x colon int, but specifying the types is important here. Implies x plus y. No, I can create a function without a name, but I cannot create a method without a name. Okay, so that's why anonymous functions will be there, but not anonymous methods. We can have only anonymous functions, but not anonymous. Why? Because a method has to be created compulsory with a name. A function can be created with a name or without name. With name, it is called as named function. Any other difference between a function and a method? Yeah, still there are many differences are there. I will try to explain that in the coming of session. Still there are many. Actually, I don't say difference. Actually, the features of the functional programming. What is the function actually? We call it as some many features are there for functional programming. We call them as it has no side effects. It is pure. They are called as pure functions. There are some features are there. So what are they? I will try to explain. But this is a basic point you need to understand about the functions and methods. Okay, anonymous functions. What is anonymous function? The function which doesn't have a name. A named function, a function with a name. And what is a higher order function? Yeah, a function which takes either a function as input or it gives a function as output. Both are called as what? So this is called as what? Higher order function. Okay, so higher order function we can create manually. We can create user can create higher order functions, or there are already some many predefined higher order functions like map, flow, what you call filter, apply. Many functions are there. Okay, many predefined functions. All these are functions of Scala programming language. Okay, so most of the people get confused that here a1 dot map of x implies x plus 10. Now I'm telling you whether map is a function of Scala programming or Spark programming.
Should be Scala.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yes, both. So we can use map function on collections. A1 is a collection right here. A1 is an array here. We can use in Spark programming. The Spark programmers, what they have done is, initially before Spark was developed, they have map function on collections. Okay, so they have designed Spark object, new objects, like array, list, or some integer or string. The Spark developers have created new objects called as RDD, data frame, and dataset, all these. Okay, and they have created the functions to work on those objects also. RDD, data frame, all these are splittable objects. The data holding by them can be splitted among multiple nodes, but whereas this data cannot be splitted. You got the basic difference between the object of Scala program and the object of Scala programming, object of Spark. So objects of Spark, they can be the data that is being held by those objects can be distributed. The data can be divided, can be split among multiple nodes. But the data held by these objects, arrays or list or anything in Scala programming, the data cannot be distributed. The distributed objects, these are not distributed objects. Okay, they're splittable objects. These are not splittable objects. There's a basic difference between a Scala object and a Spark object. Got it clear, guys? Any questions in this? Yeah, fine, guys. Let me wind up this. Object means, yeah, object is something which holds data. Object is something which holds data in memory. Okay, if the data will be saved into memory, right, will be stored into memory. So that particular object is how an object is identified. An object is identified with a memory address. With a memory address. No, not with a name. An object is identified with a reference. And what does the reference contain? Reference will refer to the memory address where the data is stored into memory. This is a memory. Okay. Object has only state. Object has a state. Okay. But object does not have a name. Object has a state. State of the data. Yeah. Yeah, please.
Sir, can we create a web-based application out of Scala? Let's take how
Can we
we
create?
have struts.
Can we create? What? Please.
Like is there any real time way where we can create web applications, like how we have Java, right? We have GSP, servlets.
Yeah, that not with Spark. We can do with Scala. We do.
No, Scala only I'm saying, like, sir.
Yeah, yeah, we can
Do
do.
we have any framework?
Yeah, there are many frameworks are there. One of the popular framework is Play framework. There's a framework called as Play framework. PLAY, Play framework. So it has not become that popular that of Java language. So Java has many frameworks like Spring, Hibernate, and all this. But Spark, Scala is evolving now. So even it is come up with many frameworks. Okay, so the framework that are supported by Java, I think they are also supported by Scala. Why? Because only the compile level there is a difference between Scala and Java, but execution level everything is same. Okay, that's a basic. We can develop web applications. We can develop, what called Android applications or any sort of applications by using Scala. Whatever we can do with Java, we can do with Scala, guys. That's it. Very simple. Okay. In all applications, wherever you use Java, in all those places we can use Scala. That's a single statement we can say like that.
Okay, sir.
Why? Because nowadays there are earlier. That's what I'm Hina. We cannot compare Scala or PySpark. I'm telling you. We can compare Scala and Python. Python is a programming language. Scala is a programming language. Okay, but do not compare Scala and PySpark. Both are different. Okay, PySpark is a script name, which launches a Spark application in Python environment. Similarly, Spark-shell is a script name which launches a Spark application with Scala environment. Okay, try to understand this basic, concept. We can understand easily the remaining stuff. Okay, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time for today. Uh, next, so from tomorrow, guys, the Scala